Hello. Hombre, Marina. ¿Qué tal? Qué placer verte por aquí. Bienvenida. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Kriga, happy December the 13th. Yeah, it's the 14th today. Marina, mira, pues no, la verdad es que la mayor parte del tiempo hablo en inglés porque casi todo el mundo, o sea, no todo el mundo habla o entiende español, pero casi todos hablan inglés, así que es como la lengua común. Frederick, pretty good, pretty good. How about you guys? And Marina, don't worry. Okay, we take it from now in English. And as I was saying in Spanish, that it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. All right. So, well, before we continue, how it's been so far your week? For me, it's pretty good. Today was my or is my last day before holidays, vacations. So pretty happy about it. I really need to rest a little, even though I will not be resting completely. I will still be doing some things for the working on the side for the tutorial, the famous tutorial for how to paint Space Marines and for my project. So yeah, we'll see. But everything is going to be fine. And tomorrow I'm leaving to Lithuania. So that's going to be pretty exciting and quite an adventure. Traveling with a dog, a baby, on the car. So yeah, that's going to be quite a thing. Krika, dude, Space Marine 2. Yes, I know. Awesome, right? It's been 10 years. It's quite insane to think that it took this long for somebody to decide that, well, maybe it would be a good idea to do a second part of this game, because even though it is a very straightforward and simple game, it is fantastic for what it is, and so far I would say one of the best 40k games to date. So of course until Dark Tide comes. But which, oh, by the way, I've been today, because I'm not gonna say anything, just that today I was looking at some things from new things from Dark Tide, and whew, as we say in Spanish, se me caía la baba. It's like, oh, absolutely insane. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, we were talking about Space Marine 2. Fantastic. I'm really looking forward. And I don't know if any of you tried the co-op side of the game, but to me that was extremely enjoyable. I mean, I barely hear people are mentioning that part of the game, only about multiplayer, like PvP or the campaign, and rarely the cooperative mode. But to me that was extremely yeah, super fun. But yeah, super stoked about it. Marina, don't worry, drawing is a universal language like math. Yes. Very true. Juan Toledano, hello everybody. Blah, blah, blah. Hello everyone. How are you doing, Juan? Bienvenido. Welcome to the stream. Kriga, I started playing again Space Marine. That is, so I am aiming to completing it 100% on Steam. Nice. You didn't play it before, or sorry, you said again. Yeah. Okay. I only played once the campaign. I played quite a lot the multiplayer and the co-op, but yeah, the campaign only once. But yeah, I mean, super enjoyable, and I think they managed to do such a great job illustrating or representing what it might feel. I mean, the might of a space marine, how it might feel to be a space marine and smashing and destroying everything around. So yeah, great game. So I hope that they stick to the to the basic of the original, and they don't try to do crazy things and kind of ruin it just by trying to do something new. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be clever, and they know they cannot. They shouldn't be experimenting too much. Kriga, Dark Tide, so hyped. Nice. Yes, me too. I'm repeating myself like a broken record. I'm working on it, but I have never ever worked on any project that is making me so excited as Dark Tide. And I've been working on a bunch of projects, and this is just yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be quite a thing. Yes. Luis Ramon, hi Miguel, how are you? Very happy to see you. Luis, always absolute pleasure to have you here. How are you? ¿Cómo estás? I hope that things are better and you are kicking ass and painting and drawing quite a lot. Kriga, what? There is a co-op mode? Yes, there was, and I guess it should be there. So I think you can team up. I can't remember with how many people, but yeah, you are just going through waves of different enemies, and it was very enjoyable and very challenging. It wasn't easy at all. I think I never managed to finish it. Always died on the last mission. It was impossible, or at least I never managed. But yeah, very fun. Frederick, wow. All right, I don't know what are you going to, but happy to see you around. Welcome to the stream. And Marina, how are things at La Voz de Horus? I've been extremely busy lately, so I haven't had the chance to join any of your streams. Kriga, yeah. I actually bought Space Marine twice on Steam because the release date was later in Norway than the rest of the EU. Oh, all right. That's strange. Bought it on an account and I thought I created it in Germany. Huh. But cannot you just give it back, one of the versions? Frederick, never played multiplayer. I'm always the last. This is the first time I participated to a live ever on YouTube. Really, Frederick? Nice. Well, that's quite a thing. And even more that you are here just to join my stream. So fantastic. So let's see if I push the right button because I think it's this one. Yes. Round of applause for you, man. Very happy to have you here. All right. So before we continue our nerdy chat. Oops, sorry. I will be continuing with our orc adventure, and let's see what happened. I haven't had any time to do anything with it or think about it and what to do. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see where I am. I'm gonna continue recording the process. So like this, I can do a video later on. Kriga, well, as you say, it's been 10 years since the release. Yeah, man, it's quite insane. And especially being such a good game. That's one of these things that it's even more strange. I think it might have something to do because it didn't sell as much as they were expecting, so they decided to, okay, so this is not worth it. But they were wrong. But yeah, it's for any 40k fan, it's obviously good news that they are making a second part. Let's see how long it's going to take for our famous Photoshop bug to make an appearance. We'll see. Any bets? Frederick, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Nice to hear. Kriga, always approve. Nice, always. Even though I'm not, even though I like Chaos a lot, but I'm not a big fan of Oris. I think he's, yeah, such a puppet. Anyway, I'm digressing. Sorry. Ladrey. Hola Miguel, yo también pinto y me gustaría trabajar en la industria del entretenimiento como tú. ¿Alguna recomendación? ¿Cuánto tiempo le dedicas a pintar de tu día? Ladrey. Si no te importa, voy a contestarte en inglés. Dime si eso es un problema y si no entiendes. Pero como normalmente aquí no todo el mundo entiende inglés, esto español, pero casi todo o todo el mundo habla en inglés, normalmente lo hacemos todo en inglés. Sí, espero que no te importe. Okay, fantastic. All right, so Lasray is asking me that he also paints and he would like to work on the entertainment industry. And he's asking for any recommendation and how long I dedicate during the day to painting. So I will start with the last question because it's the easier. And I would say that a minimum of 8 hours. Yes, I paint a lot, and if I'm not painting, I'm thinking about it. About different things that I want to do, looking for ideas, making research. So yeah, it's like anything in life, any type of activity. If you want to be good at it, you need to practice and to be pretty active. Sorry. So yes. So okay, then to your question, you say that you want to work on the entertainment industry, but can you be more specific? But because that is a very wide description, right? So you mean as a concept artist? I mean, since you were referring to me, as an illustrator, as both, because both things are pretty different and requires very different sets of skills. So I need you to guide me a little bit more into what are you aiming for? Because I mean, in the entertainment industry, it can be many things, right? Could be from cinema to video games, for instance, or just straight like a board game. Where I mean, could be so many things, and then within each one of those industries, then there are such a wide spectrum of disciplines, right? So in video games, I mean, you have art, which is a big family, and then within there you can be concept artist, but concept artist is one thing. And you have 3D artists, 3D characters, animators, etc., etc. I don't know, like VFX, matte painters. I mean, there are many things within concept art. There are many specializations as well that you can do, and you can dedicate exclusively to that. So, yeah, it's a pretty big thing. So, and depending on what you want to do, not everything applies to other things. Of course, I mean, I was talking about art, but then in video games, I mean, you have all the technology side, which is very important with coding and and tools and technology and all of that. And you have the more game design side of things, which is another big part. I mean, yeah. Kriga, about Horus, I agree. He's a turd. Lol. Yes, he is. I totally agree. I mean, he's a cool character and everything, but he becomes such a puppet of the dark gods, right? It's so sad. Marina, Oris is a crybaby. We should change the podcast from the voice of Oris to the voice of Sanguinis. Yes. Yes, that would be a nice change. I mean, Sanguinius is such a badass character and so interesting. It's a shame that they haven't written so much with him, especially dedicated to him. I think he's, way more interesting. I mean, on the new Siege of Terra book, he's supposed to have. I mean, since he's gonna be the one fighting on the Eternity Gate, right? So he's gonna have a major role on the story. But yeah, I hope that they dedicate a little bit more love into his story. Kriga, or maybe a good podcast name would be Vulcan Says Humans Are People Too. Yeah, that would be a good one. Okay, I need to just take a look at these and see what I want to do, because I'm a little bit lost. I'm just jumping from one place to another and not really paying attention of what I should be doing. Okay. Marina, sorry for my English. I understand it well, but I don't write it so well. Well, Marina, so far it's perfect. Nothing to be sorry about. It's perfect. Frederick, did you get your contracts thanks to contacts? You are such a poet. What do you mean by thanks to contacts? I mean, let's see if I interpret your question. Some of the jobs that I get are through people that I know, right? So that's something that you would say those are contacts. So they know about me, and then they just reach me out. They contact me, and then it's more straightforward. But there are plenty of other works where they don't know me, I don't know them, and they just know my work, and they just contact me just to check if I'm interested in working with them. So it depends. But if I think most of the work that I have done is mostly from people that I didn't know personally. But sometimes also I get recommendations, right? So somebody recommends me to somebody that I might not know personally, but things like that. I mean, at the end, it's a pretty small industry. So you might not know personally somebody, but you know their work and stuff like that. So Infinite Imagination. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Last ray. All right. Let's see. So, 1 second. Sorry, I don't know what's happening with my throat today, but okay, let's see. Last ray. Do you consider yourself as a concept artist? Sorry. So you consider yourself as a concept artist. Interesting. I pursued that, I guess, but I have found that illustration floats my boat more. Imagine Magic the Gathering art, the kind of art that you do now, it's in the ballpark. I would love to do some work for board games and such. All right. Yes, I consider myself as mostly a concept artist. Mattia, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. So, Lavray, yes. 90% of the work that I do is related with concept art for video games and films and TV series and stuff like that. And illustration work, it's very little. As I'm thinking now out of my head, I have done some things for Wizards of the Coast, and and things for Games Workshop, and that's about it as an illustrator. And it's not that much. So yeah, I consider myself more of a concept artist, and most of my professional career is as such. So to your question, so if you want to pursue a career more as an illustrator and for those type of things, so what I can recommend you, well, I guess the only thing I can tell you in very general terms at the moment is that, okay, because I don't know what level you have, and but I would say that, okay, so take it easy in terms of not that's something that could be applied to anything, really, but I think it applies, and it's if you don't have the level yet, don't desperate yourself into hiring things up, and get very frustrated. Just give yourself time to get to that level where that you need to be in order to be contacted and and be appreciated by companies like that to ask you for work. Very important to have a good portfolio, and if you have such a specific aim, like you are saying, Magic the Gathering, so do pieces that could fit for Magic the Gathering, and focus most of your portfolio into that, or for kind of board games style of illustrations. So that's kind of I can come up with in such general terms. Also, it's now because of COVID. I don't know how things will be in the future, but I'm assuming that things will get back to normal. But a very, very good thing, I would say, is to go to conventions dedicated to art. Because there is plenty of other artists and illustrators. So you have plenty from concept artists, illustrators, all type of professionals. But you also have art directors, you have recruiters, you have So you might get into contact with people from Wizards of the Coast, for example, or people that actually work for them, and they can give you guidance and tips, or straightforward just put you in contact with somebody relevant to work for them. So going to these conventions and conferences is actually something that people tend to neglect, and of course it can be understandable as well, because they they are kind of expensive, right? Because you need to, if they don't do it in your city and you need to travel, then the tickets tend to be kind of expensive. But as an investment, as a professional, I think it's is a very useful thing to do. And they are very fun, and you learn quite a lot as well. So Daniel, is it that your name, Daniel Senor Iglesias? Do you collect and paint minis yourself? Not not now at the present times, but yes, I used to quite a lot. I think I own one, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 armies. And I mean, through my whole life, I've been a hardcore fan of the hobby in all the spectrums of the hobby. Playing, lore, the art side, but then collecting, painting, and making conversions. So yes, I like it quite a lot. But now, unfortunately, I don't have the time. So yeah, we'll see. Now, maybe when my son gets a little bit older, maybe I will retake it. I think that would be a nice activity that we could do together. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, at the moment I don't, because I just don't have the time, sadly. And the last thing that I was very, very into, and this was before it became such a wide thing, but conversions. I was absolutely obsessed with it before it became such a mainstream thing, when people didn't used to do that that often. How about yourself, by the way? I'm guessing from your question that you are a painter and collector of minis. Asator, a wog is a wog. Gel, my favorite artist, is back. May the Emperor bless you with more subs. Thank you, thank you. I hope that the Emperor hears you out. Thank you. That's very kind. And I need to keep my voice low because my son, Lord Commander Dante, it's sleeping next door, so I need to be careful. Frederick, did you got jobs and contracts in the industry because you knew people in companies? Yeah, some. As I said, not most of them. A small percentage, but some of them, yes. And if you think about it, it's a pretty logical thing, right? Sometimes finding an appropriate artist for certain roles, it can take quite a long time, and effort and resources. And yeah, sometimes they know the person for that role or that specific job. And if they know them personally, then it makes it very easy, right? So to just they will just call you directly instead of just going through a very long research process of finding somebody that might do the work. So that's why I also, I mean, going back to this thing with the conventions and conferences, it's so important to go because you build a network of people that you know, a professional network. So you could be the greatest artist in the world, right? But if nobody knows about you, they will not call you, or you will get less chances to get a job. And if they know about you and they know your work, and not only they know your work, but they know you personally, and they, they get a chance to know you as a person. If you are likable, if you seems like a social person, social in terms that can work with other people, etc., etc. So knowing people in person is important, and yeah, once again, if they know you and you are the right fit, then they are not gonna doubt. So they will. The first call is gonna be to you, because it's what they know, and yeah. So it's a pretty common thing. But yeah, then of course, many factors can play with something like that. But it's just about having more opportunities to get work. And as I was saying, in my case, it has happened to me, but um, it's like a minor part. But I know that in many other cases I've been recommended. So sometimes you don't even need to know personally the person that is going to give you work, but they know somebody that knows you, and they know your work. But that's another aspect that sometimes people don't think much about it. It's like, yeah, your portfolio and you as technically as an artist need to be pretty good, but also a very important part is you as a person. How is it to work with you? Can you fit in a team? And most of people will prefer to have somebody less good, but that is nice to work with, and just a machine, but is an asshole to work with. And then in this equation, knowing the person plays a big role, right? So Frederick, sorry, my English too is not perfect. It's very good. Don't worry. Last Ray, did you study art or illustration as in college or an atelier? Well, I've been a little bit of everything. So I've been painting and drawing since I have memory all my life. So lots of things are self-taught, but then I also studied some things. So as education, I went to it's called School for Cinema, in the specialization for animation, traditional animation. As Marina here, if she's still here, she also used to work as an animator. Or do you still work as an animator, Marina, by the way? Sorry to ask. And then I also studied fine arts. I didn't finish it because I was already working. But yeah, so a little bit of everything. But I would say that most is self-taught, or just learning from some other people. But yeah, still I learn a lot in the film animation school, and in fine arts. I learn a lot of things as well. So don't get me wrong, but yeah. Marina, how did they find out about your work? Which places do you think there is more visibility for an illustrator? Um, I think at the moment the place to be is ArtStation. That's like the professional hub for recruiters and art directors hunting for artists. That's the best place currently. Then so it's also good to have a good social media presence. So I think Instagram works pretty nice for that since it's more image oriented. So yeah, I would say those two. Maybe LinkedIn as well, even though I barely use it, but still is also a pretty good platform. And yeah, and it's a lot of art directors are there as well. But I would say ArtStation at the moment is the place to be. And in my case, it's a mix of many different things. I don't know if you're asking about some specific company, Marina, but in general, it depends. Sometimes is they stumble upon my work on the internet, on ArtStation or on Instagram, or yeah. And other times, like I say, it's through other people, and I get recommended. And other times, people, like through direct contact that I know them and they know about me, and then yeah. So I'm under their radar, and they contact me from time to time for some work if they need some help. Yeah, so it depends. It's pretty varied. That's why it is so important to be active on the internet as an artist, just to expose yourself to the public. So to have visibility, that your work has visibility. Lucius, hello peeps. Space Marine 2 trailer was so hype. Yes, man, and like always, welcome, Lucius. And a pretty good, very nice sketch of the police woman that you had. Pretty nice. And yeah, man, Space Marine 2, yeah, the hype is real. Now let's see how long it's gonna take to wait for it. But I don't know. Something. My guess is that 2023, I would say. It's just a completely wild guess, but if they have made an announcement now, but at the same time, who knows? Because Focus Interactive, they did. I mean, they did a completely opposite marketing strategy with Higher Gun, right? The Necromunda game. Nobody knew about it until almost the same day that they released. I'm exaggerating, but yeah. So they went the completely opposite route. So yeah, difficult to see to say. But yeah, I would say that yeah. I would be surprised if they release next year. But I have absolutely no information, so it's just like it's just a guess, uninformed guest. Lasre, is there a way I could get you to see some of my work? No pressure, just curious if there is a way to reach you for something like that. Lasre, I would love to, but the thing is that I mean, I'm for sure I can take a look, but I cannot assure you that I would have the time to go through any proper review, or because I'm super busy, and you are not the only one. There's plenty of people that have asked me before, and I had to say that I could not, sadly. I would love to, but I'm with the water to my neck with so many things that I have on my hands. But yeah, I mean, sure. If you want to share, just share it on the Discord channel, and yeah, I will be more than happy to take a look. And I can give you my opinion when I have the time, but probably it will not. I will not be able to go very much in depth. But yeah, I would love to see for sure. Last rate, do you go to conventions in the EU or the US? So far, I have only gone to the in Europe. Yeah. And I'm not too much into the know of what's happening on the US. But in Europe, there are plenty, and super good, all of them. Frederick, I went to a mini Comic-Con in Montreal and got a contract to illustrate a book cover. Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, these type of conventions or conferences that I'm talking about are very much focused into art for the entertainment industry. So it's not like a Comic-Con, which is more directed to fans and hobbyists. But the conferences that I'm talking about is more for students and professionals of the industry. But yeah, I mean, any type of convention is good as well, because to some of these Comic-Cons and stuff like that, they are also professionals, and yeah, a way to meet them directly as well. So, Ali Espinosa, walk. Hello, Miguel. Watching the stream. At the same time, I practice some color study. Fantastic. That's like I always say, that's music to my ears. Fantastic. Welcome to the stream, and very glad to hear that you are also painting at the same time. That is great. What are you painting? What are you using as a study? If I may ask. Bomo, some conventions in Europe, you mean to know some of them? Well, there are so many. So you have like I said, I don't know now how it's the panorama since the COVID. So, but these are the ones that I know that were before, and of course, yeah, I don't know if that means that they will continue, but okay. So you have, let's see, the industry workshop that was normally done in London, but yeah, I don't know if they will be doing more. You have Playground in Berlin, I think it is. You have IFCC in Croatia. You have how's it called? The one in Malta now, that was in Portugal before, the something unicorn. Sorry, it's just like Mr. Alzheimer is visiting today my place. Trojan horse was a unicorn. There you go. Sorry. You have what else? You had Dagfra in Frankfurt, but now that's moved to Belgium in Fragda. Sorry. And I don't know what are the plans also for next year. You had those organized by CD Projekt Red as well. Can't remember what's the name at the moment. But yeah, there are plenty. And they are all very good. I mean, I cannot encourage more to go to these events, but again, I understand they are expensive, so yeah, that's something to take into account. But yeah, it's very much worth it. Marina, time. That's my problem. Hopefully, I can sit quite a bit at night to draw. How do you do so that they are not giving you war all the time? You mean what do you mean? Kids? If that's the question, well, so far I only have one kid, and he is 5 months old, so it's manageable, so sort of for now. Yeah, I'm not sure if I understood exactly your question, Marina. Sorry. Danielle, I hope that that is Danielle, your name. I'm not very proficient with Cyrillic alphabet. Thanks for the answer. I'm painting my Daughters of Cain warband for Shadespire while watching your stream. Nice. Void Invader, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Damn, that's a dramatic name. Void. One second. now I start with my lookout daddy duties, just on the alert for any in case my son wakes up. So now I need to lower the voice a little. Where was I? Ah, yes. Void Invader. What a dramatic name you have, man. Peter, hail. Hey, man. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Mark, thanks for reading me. Yeah, I think I lost that one. Yeah, I think my comment was too long and it wasn't published. Gonna ask later if you cannot read it. I think yeah, it wasn't published on the, so write it down again. Where, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I think your comment was lost. So yeah, just write it down again, and I will do my best to answer. Marina, yes, I worked in animation, but I have not worked on it since 2008. You lose a lot of skills if you don't practice, and I did not practice anything. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I see. Yeah, and yeah, you are totally right. All right, so nice. Yeah, I think the last work that I did for animation was the film El Cid. That was the last thing I worked with, and then after that there was absolutely no work, or no work that I could find. I remember just going around different studios in Madrid, but and since I couldn't find anything, so I joined to do some fine arts in the meanwhile, and then on my second year I started to work on as a concept artist. But yeah, sorry, I'm digressing. But yeah, yes, like anything, you need to practice. But yeah, that is great, Marina. What where were you working with? I'm very curious. Were you and where were you? Were you in Madrid or somewhere else? Maybe we have plenty of acquaintances in common from that time. Don't me bro. You ever think what it would be like in a parallel universe where the standard skin color for orcs was blue? No, but I actually like. I don't know. That might sound weird, but yeah, I've been thinking quite a lot about something similar to that, and yes, using the color of the skin being blue. I think it's pretty appealing, even more than green. This thing that I'm talking about, it sounds very cryptic, and yeah, but you will understand sometime in the future what I'm referring to. But for now, I need to be secretive. Marina, R station. I will write it down. Yes, ArtStation is the absolute must to be in. From a professional point of view, it is a must. That's the place to be. And it's a weird hybrid between social media platform and online portfolio webpage. So it has those two things. Well, and also a marketplace as well, etc., etc. But yeah. Sergio Ponce, hello Miguel. How's it going, your project for Patreon? Sergio, hello man, how are you? And welcome to the stream, like always. Well, my project for Patreon, it's going well. It's going very slowly because that's the thing. I don't have the time to dedicate to it. That's why I want to make Patreon, right? So it's so I'm gonna use these holidays to kind of make a push. And yes, I'm doing things on the side, which actually well, you cannot see it, but I have an open file on Photoshop, but it's hidden by this window here. I should have been more careful because I don't want to show anything yet. You saw something there. Yeah, but yeah, I'm doing things. I'm working on it, and it's going good. And I'm super excited. I cannot wait to be able to dedicate a little bit more time. And when I manage to find the time to really dive more deeply and work with the project, and hopefully the Patreon goes well. So the better it goes, the more time I will be able to allocate from client work to my personal work project. So yeah, we'll see. What a fail. It's like I'm talking about that. I don't want it to be shown, and then there you go. That's why I normally I'm closing the screen here on for the live streaming because Photoshop always make these type of things. So yeah, yes, it's not a big deal anyway. But yeah, now it can work as a tease. Peter, Valrak's reaction was the best. I'm guessing you mean for Space Marine 2. Yeah, I have seen the reaction video of it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Matías, hola Miguel, ¿algún consejo para manejar los valores tonales de manera equilibrada? Soy un cabeza dura. Matías, bienvenido al stream, y como digo a todo el mundo, si no te importa te voy a responder en inglés porque la gran mayoría de la gente en el chat no entiende o no habla español, pero todo el mundo se defiende con el inglés, entonces como la lengua común. Así que perdóname si no es un problema. When you mean Vamos a ver si hago la traducción correcta también. Esta es otra. The best... of course, this is a very general question. The best answer that general answer that I can give you is to make a lot of studies. A lot of studies focusing only and exclusively with values. And do those studies not just copying, but analyzing, replicating, understanding what you are looking at and why things are the way they are. And always start from simpler to more complex things. Also, I would try to, like a general rule, try to avoid extremes in the values. Try to avoid going close to pure black and pure white. That's. I hope that it's that works. Larry, Sweetsman, I understand. Fantastic. RJ Villain. Which tablet do you work on? I work with Intuos Pro. I just bought it last week, as a matter of fact, because my older Intuos 4, which had more than 10 years, I have no how many years, but more than 10 it had, was starting to give me some problems. So yeah, so Intuos Pro, the big one. Last break, how can I reach your Discord? If there is anybody kind enough to post the chat, the Discord on the chat, I will really appreciate. If nobody posts it, I will post it myself at the end of the stream. Last Ray, what conventions do you like in Europe? Well, I haven't been to all of them. For example, I really enjoyed the IFCC in Croatia. Fantastic. I know that the again, the Trojan horse was a unicorn. It's very good as well, even though it's a little bit more, how can I say, this is what I know from people that have gone, so I don't have a first hand experience from it, but it's very expensive, that one, and it's very well organized, and yeah, that one is I know that is very good. Playground, I think it's also pretty good. Well, I forgot also a big one as well in Russia. Artillery, I think it's called, in St. Petersburg. There is also Non-Stop in Barcelona, I believe. I think it's called. Also, the industry workshop in London was fantastic as well. Very, very good. But the problem with all of these conventions is that at the end, it takes quite a lot of time, and some people that are organizing them, sometimes they don't have the time to do it. So yeah, I know some of them. I'm not sure if they will do it again. I don't know. We'll see what happens after the COVID madness kind of recedes. But yeah, at the end of the day, one way or another, any of these are pretty good. And I've been to some of them just as an attendee, and others I've been invited as a lecturer myself, like giving some presentations. And both as a lecturer or as an attendee, all of them are fantastic, a great experience. Because there is also, of course, the specific aspects that are good about it, right? So all the information that you get, the presentations, and get to the possibility to meet a lot of artists that you might admire as well. But then is also all the social part of it, right? Where you get to hang with a lot of other artists, with your art heroes, perhaps, if they are there. So it is fantastic. I mean, I know many of you here are Warhammer fans or Warhammer 40k fans. Just to give you an example, last time on the last industry workshop that I went in London, I got to hang out with all the most of all the illustration team at the Games Workshop. So just imagine, right, if that you can meet them, hang out with them, and yeah, just to give you an example, right? So Lucius, thanks, dude. Well, man, no problem. Doing some variations on her now. I was wondering if you were happy with the marine proportions in the trailer. Aha. Huh. I'm when it comes to Space Marines, well, anything about 40k, I'm very picky. So overall, I think it was a great trailer, right? But the stylistic choice, I'm not totally 100% behind it. I think the Space Marines were fine for the most part. If there was something that bothered me, was more the animations, that they felt very slow. I don't know, as in contrast with Astartes. I mean, it is quite insane, right? That still, to this point, there is nothing of the quality of Astartes. The work that Siama has done is nobody has reached yet, because on the started short films, right, they still look heavy and powerful, but they are super agile, they are super fast, right? In the Space Marine trailer, they don't convince me really. And then the major issue that I have, and this is a very common thing, it's something that we actually discussed on the Discord, is that they suffer this problem with proportions, but not just about characters, but everything, objects that looks like toys. So they were trying to go for a realistic style for the trailer, but in my opinion, they kind of failed. A great example, and something, I mean, you're gonna think that I'm crazy, but let me show you what I mean. And yes, I am aware I'm extremely picky. All right, so just to put things in context. Let me see. I'm gonna show you what I mean from the trailer. Let me see if you. Jaime, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. All right, so yeah, so you can see it. So the thing that bothered me the absolute most is the thickness of the armor and helmets of the Imperial Guard. I mean, do you know how much this will weight? It will, I mean, it will be insanely heavy. I mean, if, yeah. The same thing with the armor plates. I mean, it gives this toy look because everything is big and thick. And that's something that suffers quite a lot. All the visualizations of 40K in general, they fail to translate the look of the miniatures, which are toys, into something realistic, because they still keep the proportions as the miniatures are. And there's an error because the miniatures don't have realistic proportions. And you see that with vehicles, with everything, and the same in this trailer. So it's all over the place, and I think that's a shame. And I know I'm super picky. The trailer looks fine, but if you ask me on a personal level, to me, I don't like. I cannot avoid to be a little bit annoyed by that. Sorry, my son is woken up. I will be back. 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, my son woke up, wanted to eat, so I had to woke up my wife. All right. So where were we? Ah, yes, the Space Marine. So yeah, that this thing with proportions, it's a big problem, and something that, going back to the Astartes short films, that Siama managed to deal with perfectly. Everything looks believable in a realistic way. So yeah, so that's my 2 cents. So yeah, overall fantastic, the trailer. So yeah, nothing wrong to say, but if you ask me from the picky side, yeah, these proportion things kind of annoys me. But yeah, anyway. Last Ray THU, yes, that's the one. Trojan Unicorn. Maprapita, I don't know what you mean. On that, my bro, do you have a favorite fantasy race to paint? No, not really. Maybe orcs. Yeah, maybe orcs. Pomo, thank you so much. Yep, no problem. Cantabrian, hey Miguel, how are you? Hope you are well. Cantabrian, thank you, and welcome to the stream. I'm doing fine, man. Pretty good. Like I was saying, tomorrow I start my vacation, so I'm really looking forward. How are you? Last rave, thank you, man. I'm relatively close to Europe, so now it's a possibility, but we will see how it goes with the virus. Yes, yeah, that's the thing. We'll see. I hope that none of these conventions stop happening, because they are all fantastic. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I cannot encourage you enough to go to at least one of these a year. It's also extremely motivating and inspiring. Yeah, it's a great experience. Hey Marina, kids. I was talking about kids. All right, all right. Yeah. I mean, now we're just dealing with a baby and with all the challenges. But when he sleeps, right? So that's all right. I think things change quite a lot when they start to walk around and talk, and they need more attention. So yeah, I'm quite a noob for now. Alice Spinoza, I'm still on the basics of color, practicing some still life without the eyedropper tool. All right, that's a good thing. Yeah, life stills are a pretty good way to start and to have a good grasp of the basics. So yeah, that's a very good way to do it. But like I say, you always need to do those studies, not just copying for the sake of copying, but understanding what you are looking at and what you are trying to replicate. So it's not so much as copying the lines, let's say, or the colors, but just understanding why things are the way they are. That's the key. Lucius, Cantabrio, did you find a sound effect? Yeah. Cantabrian here has some personal project with us sororitas. He's sharing with us on the Discord, and he's doing a fantastic job. So yeah. Void Invader, great art. Thanks. It's from Magic the Gathering card. All right. You know, I am not too well versed into Magic the Gathering, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a pretty cool name. Frederick, do you do traditional painting? Yes, I do. It's been a while since I haven't done it, though. Again, time or lack of time. But yes, I do, and I like it quite a lot, and I miss it. Even though I absolutely love digital painting with all the good things that it comes with, but sometimes I miss the plasticity, you know, of working traditionally. But yeah. Don't tell me, bro. I hear you say cryptic and thought you meant you were gonna paint the cryptids like Mothman or the Chupacabra. No. I meant well, something that I'm planning to do, and I don't want to reveal much of it. So yeah. Marina, I worked in Merlin in Bilbao and in Basabe in Vitoria. In Las Tres Mellizas. Yeah, of course. Dodo Dinosaur, RH Plus, Médico de Familia, Robot Boys, Craft. Alright. Nice. The world is such a tiny place, right? Lucius, you didn't see anything? Okay, good. I mean, it just showed for a tiny fraction. So yeah. Sugar Passion. Well, that's another great name. Hey Miguel, I hope you and your family is doing great. On average, how long does it take you to finish a piece? Need traditional advice on making a concept art portfolio? Well, thanks and welcome to the stream. And we are all doing fantastic. Thank you. It depends about how long it takes to do a piece. It depends. There are so many factors that can make the time to change. So it's very difficult to say. Yeah, it's impossible to say. There's no average. That's the answer. There's no average. It can, in the short side of things, it could be one day, and on the long term, it could be weeks. Yeah, it depends immensely. So yeah. an advice on making a concept art portfolio? Yes, many. Just keep it short and good. So it's better to have less and good than a lot and mediocre. Make a specific portfolio for each individual studio or position that you're applying for. Do research for the place that you are aiming to work for, and adapt your portfolio according to that. So the style of the things that they do, the people that work there, etc., etc. And also, what is the position that you are seeking, and specialize that portfolio for that. So don't show that you can do plenty of things. Focus on that specific thing that the position is for. So just to give you an example, if you are applying for a position as a character designer, focus most of your portfolio with character design stuff, and don't show plenty of different things that you can do. Yeah, you still can show a little bit, right? But just a tiny bit. Most of it should be just character design. Mortis Champion. Hello, Miguel. How are you? Hey, Mortas. How are you doing? Welcome. Pretty good. Pretty good. Like I was saying, today was tomorrow is my first day of vacation, so looking forward. I need a break, even though I will not have a 100% break, but still, it's gonna be fantastic. How are you? Toledano, yeah, las tres mellizas. Yes, that's quite a. That was a very good cartoon show in Spain. Lasray, wow, I still have my Intuos 3 for like over 10 years ago. Yeah, man, I mean, I had the previous one, the Intuos 4, and I've been using, for the until a week ago. And yeah, more than 10 years, I don't know, 13 years or something like that. Yeah. Kriga, Miguel, thanks for keeping me company while I was working late. I have to go. Hope your stream is great. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining, and have a good one. Thanks. Thanks for joining, and have a rest. Yeah, I see that you cannot see the link, Lasray, for the Discord. I will post the link before I go. Lucius, I think mods can only link things. Yes, I think you might be right, and there is no mods. So that might be a problem. All right, I will have to do that myself. Um, Cantabrian, did you see Siama's latest non 40k release on his ArtStation? It's only a small clip, but it looks promising. Yes, I have, and yeah, I agree. It looks fantastic. I mean, the man, he is a genius. So, yeah, what can I say? Last Ray, isn't it amazing? Astartes is just pitch perfect. Why is Games Workshop cursed with their video game adaptations? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is perfect. And you know, to be honest, and to be fair as well, making realistic depictions of 40k is very difficult, and for that, the proof is what we get, right? Most of all the attempts, they fail. They end up doing something stylish, but not realistic, not believable on a realistic light. And this for a reason, and it's because the source material, which is toys, right? So there is a lack of understanding in many cases that if you are trying to depict in a realistic under a realistic light, then you cannot use the same proportions. You need to adapt. And the funny thing is, on the illustrator team at Games Workshop, they completely understand that they cannot copy paste how the miniatures look, because they are toys, and if they want to make a realistic depiction of those characters or situations, they need to adapt, and they need to create over what the miniatures look. So yeah, but that's something that is still not understood in many versions or adaptations. So yeah, but the only one, in my opinion, that is perfect in that regard is Astartes and Siama's vision. And a great example of that is, for example, if you see the bolters and the armor and everything is not exactly as the designs from the miniatures. He just made his own interpretations. So it's like those was it the word? It's artistic choices, right? But they fulfill a function, which is to depict things in a realistic way, and it works perfectly. Cantabrian, the animation in the Space Marine 2 trailer felt slightly stylized. Yes, exactly. Overlap, exaggerated, secondary motion, etc. Yes, I totally agree. Yes, that's perfectly said. It is stylized, even though it feels that they were trying to make it realistic. That, I think that's the problem, at least for me. R144162. The clothes of the Imperial Guard are awful as well. Yeah, they're a little bit, yeah. I agree, but I mean, again, I think the trailer looks great overall. It's just looking it under a more picky spotlight. Kriega in the green darkness in the far future to his back and neck problems in abundance. Yeah. Yes. I mean, just imagine the thickness of those helmets. I mean, it's insane. Also, something that really puts me off with this type of attempts of making realistic depictions is, let's say, a normal human. You know, a normal human yeah, so a normal human just standing, a very epic pose. He's aiming with one single arm with a bolter, and the bolter is this big. Again, going back to the using the miniatures as a reference. I mean, this is insane. You cannot hold something that heavy with your arm. You know, it's like this kind of, I mean, for a space marine, it works even from a realistic point of view, because it can be explained. It's like, no, they have superhuman strength. All right, okay, it works, but not a normal person. You cannot do, you know, it's like it's just the level of believability, I don't know if that's a word in English, it just kind of falls apart immediately. And you see that so often. Okay, my son is screaming again. Sorry, I have to go. I will be back. Right, that was team effort. So, okay. Juan Toledano, yeah, that thickness is so toy miniature looking. Yes, and that's, and you see that also quite a lot with when they do depictions of vehicles as well, especially with vehicles where you have all these screws and details, and they are immense, and you see that with weapons as well. And the bigger those details are, the more toy they start to look. So things need to be scaled down quite a lot in order to give a realistic impression. So, for example, to solve this problem, if it was me doing a realistic depiction of this, I would redesign the bolter and just scale it down in a human size. Maybe something like that. And still, this would be heavy as hell, but still manageable to a certain degree. So, yeah, you will be forced to redesign things if you want to make them look realistic, because the main source material, so to speak, are toys, and it's as simple as that. Marina, no, el casco no les pesa porque es de corchopan. Yeah, the helmet does not weigh because it's made of cork. Yes, that's a good explanation. That's why they die so easily, right? Peter, the guard's armor seems to be a common issue with the fans. Is it? You mean people complaining about the trailer? Peter, I thought Siama was going to Games Workshop to do Games work, or was he tricked too? Peter, no, as far as I know, I mean, he's still working for them. Is what he showed on our station is a side thing, personal project. Lucius, yeah, I agree with your take. Honestly, I use Astartes as a measure for a lot of the things I see from 40k now. His work was very humbling in a way. He just nailed everything. Yeah, I mean, once again, what can I say that I haven't said again before? He's a genius. I mean, yeah. I mean, I had the luck to do a small collaboration with him for Astartes, even though what I did with him hasn't been shown, and I don't know if it will ever be shown now that he's working for Game Workshop, and I don't know if still remains, or yeah, I have no idea what he's doing with Games Workshop now. But still, my point is that during that collaboration that I did with him, I could see what is his vision and how he thinks and work, and it's fantastic. He's very 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 talented guy. And of course the works his work speaks by itself, so yeah. Luis, I begin to think to attend to conventions. I'm always busy, but I have to connect to the Discord channel. Yeah, Luis, I once again, I cannot encourage you guys enough to go to these conventions. It's fantastic experience. It's super fun, and also it's a very good thing from as an artist to learn things, but also in with the vision from as a professional, you know, to get contacts, to get possibilities to um, get work, or to, you know, it's a fantastic thing to do, and it's very inspiring. So yeah, every single one that I have gone, it's an amazing experience, and all, yeah, and such a fantastic way to connect with great artists and make friends with them as well. So yeah, it is awesome. You should all go to one at least a year. Cantarian, most humbly thank you, Chaplain Miguel. Why? Yeah, you mean what you are doing is fantastic work, man. So yeah, no problem, man. Valtrapa Sexy. That's a nice name as well. Virgen Santa, el don, el maestro, el monstruo en directo. Well, no sé de quién estás hablando. Soy feo, pero pero no tanto. Gracias, bienvenido al stream. Aunque yo estoy casi ya para terminar. Sergio Ponce, I'm painting too. Like many here, I'm working on an illustration of Brothers book. Nice, Sergio. Fantastic. I love it that you guys are painting at the same time. Lucius, please don't send out an inquisitorial team. We see nothing. All right. Good to know. I hope that's the case. And Sergio, is your brother a writer? Peter, okay, gotta go back to work. Have a good stream, everyone. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for joining in, like always. Auroboros, what's up? Hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? Sadly, I will have to. I'm gonna finish the stream now. So yeah, a shame that you are joining so at this point, but well, maybe it was quite a long time since I'm so behind on the chat. But nice to see you here, man. Lazare, thank you, Miguel, for your time. I'm heading out now. Hope to catch more of your streams. No problem, man. Once again, thanks for joining in and have a good one. George Bentley. Hey Miguel, have you read much of the horror series books? Also, favorite Primark? Yes, I have read many. And favorite Primark? It's a difficult thing to because there are many that are so good. One that I like quite a lot is Lehman Russ, because there is more to it than what it seems. And another one that I like is Sanguinius as well, and Perturabo as well. He's not a likable character at all, but I think he's a very interesting character. I don't know. There are plenty and very interesting. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Ouroboros, when they make realistic depictions of 40k, what breaks it for me is the proportions. Yeah, there you go. Miniature proportions are way wonkier, and when they change that, it just doesn't look the same. Yes, that's the major problem with the attempts to do realistic depictions of 40k is proportions. Everything falls into proportions, and they always, or for the most part, fail because of all these things. That's that's why on the how to paint Space Marines tutorial that I'm preparing, I spend a lot of time talking about this and make a big emphasis into this part. Dave Alviani, oh hi, didn't know you streaming today. How are you doing? Busy as hell, I imagine. Hey man, yes, pretty busy, and happy to see you around. And yeah, now I changed the streaming time. So before I used to stream on Saturdays, and now I changed to Tuesdays. So that's how it's gonna be. After this stream today, I'm gonna have a Christmas break, and I will be back sometime after Christmas. I still don't know when, but yeah, I will announce it on social media. So yeah, but anyway, and yes, busy as hell. Don Tamebro, regarding proportions, I thought what always looked wacky was the wrist mounted storm bolter on the Grey Knights. On Terminator, storm bolters look alright, but on regular Marines, the wrist mount looks out of place. Yeah, I see what you mean. But still could work. That's another discussion, right? If it's possibility or viability from a practical point of view, a Space Marine would be able to use it that way. Even though I agree, it looks a little bit weird. But yeah, at the end, like we are saying, everything comes to proportions always. Dave Alviani, oh, you worked in Astartes? That's awesome. I love it. Well, I mean, just to put things in, I just made a tiny collaboration with him for a episode that was in the making, but hasn't been released. So I don't know if it will be ever been shown now that he's working with Games Workshop. I have no idea. So I will have to talk to him to ask him at some point to see if that's ever gonna be used. So maybe I can show it, or if he feel, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Still, a very tiny collaboration. Juan Toledano, yeah, I'm working on a Pedro Cantor artwork right now, and I have had to decrease a lot the wrist mount bolter to make it credible. Yeah, I mean, again, that it looks wonky doesn't mean that it cannot work. I think this is a separate discussion, right? If things look wonky but looks believable, or could work, or not, it's two different things. So I agree that from a aesthetical point of view, it look a little bit wonky, but still, if that's what it is, because of the size of the weapon is what it is, but still can be mounted on the wrist and still function for a Space Marine, well, I don't see that so much of a problem. Out of my head, maybe if I looked more in depth, I might come to the same conclusion. I have no idea, but I mean, I agree with you both to the visual appeal, that it looks a little bit too big, but Sergio, yes, my brother writes fantasy books. Nice, that's awesome. Luis, thanks a lot for your suggestions and tips. Good night. Luis, like always, no problems, a pleasure, and have a good night. Marina, your sanguineous is perfect. The only fault he has is that you didn't use Sam Hugan as a model. No, seriously, like a blood angel, I adore your sanguineous. Thanks, Marina. That's very kind. But the thing is, with sanguineous, I'm myself not that happy with how he turned out, and the things I struggled immensely, because I had this issue. It's like, in one hand, okay, most of the descriptions about him is that he looks like an angel, his angelical look. But as soon as I started to make a depiction of him using that as like the main aspects, he didn't look strong, or I mean, at the same time, he's a Primarch and extremely powerful, and So as soon as I started with the angelical side, he lost all the power and, you know, raw power that he's supposed to have and everything. So I really struggled. That I had to restart many times, and at the end I don't know, I think I went to something in the middle, but in my head at least I think the angelical look should be the way to go. But at the same time, since this Primarch series, I had this challenge that I had to do it in 1 hour. It's too little time to tackle that design problem. So it was an impossibility, I think. So if I had the time to do a proper depiction of how I imagine Sanguinius, I think I would depict him differently. And I would go more to the angelical side. Because now that I think I understand a little bit more the character, I think that he looks like an angel, because most of all the descriptions of him is more like, yes, like an angel. And the feeling of power and that he has comes more by his attitude, but not by his look in the face, if that makes any sense. So it's a difficult character, but anyway, very happy that you enjoyed and you like it as it is. But I think if I would put some quality time designing the character, I would depict him different. I don't know if I would manage to do something proper, but yeah. Luis Ramón, Happy Christmas holidays, felices fiestas para ti y toda tu familia. Igualmente, Happy Christmas, man. Feliz Navidad y Año Nuevo. Muchas gracias. Arkvane, badass work, mate. Thanks. Much appreciated. Cantabrian, I will say happy holidays, Miguel. I will see you next time, Discord. Have a good one, Cantabrian. Marina, look for photos of Sam Hugan. He's disgustingly handsome and seems calm, but he makes an angry face at times, which is great. I will take a look for sure. I will. All right, so I think it's time for me to go to bed. I have a very long day tomorrow. As I said, I have to prepare a trip to Lithuania with my family. So yeah, it's a lot of preparations to do. So like always, been an absolute pleasure to have all of you on the stream, and for all the new people joining. I'm looking at you, Marina. Fantastic. And since this is I'm making a pause for Christmas, I wish you all a happy and Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and Happy New Year. And yeah, I will make an announcement of when I'm retaking the streaming, right? Have a good one, take care, and paint and draw a lot during the holidays, all right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.